house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now.
You know, next season I'm gonna sing this song.
The echo of your favorite song.
That'll be scary.
Cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are
Susie's
black.
gonna be my backup
A
dancer.
ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo.
Not like she has enough to do already.
Goodbye.
Give her one more job.
She does have to make the new intro part, you know.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Because you have to make yours too, slacker.
This is true. This is true.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long.
Ethan wants to talk about our private
Good
audience.
evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble, Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome to another fantastic Haunt Hour. Everybody else is just kind of hanging out tonight.
I'm on vacation.
Oh.
I don't know what you guys. I mean,
What?
I've started my vacation today, so
Susie, call the cops. Somebody stole Troy's sleeves.
I'm gonna probably just like mentally check out. Just do some click. Just do some clicking. Show some videos while you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Something different.
Something different.
Yeah.
Something different for you.
So before we jumped on here, Troy, you were saying, what did Ethan want to say?
Ethan is very perturbed about our private conversations being aired. Our dirty laundry is being aired on because Dan can't figure out how to mute himself while we're talking to each other. So Ethan, it's all Dan's fault.
No,
it's not all my fault.
You guys
or we
know
may do it on purpose.
You guys know you do it on purpose. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
For anybody
Yeah, what
that
are you talking
actually listens to that 5-minute intro and hears little conversations, know that these two idiots do it on purpose. And you will also note I never join in.
You never join in, and one of these days we're going to provoke you to do it.
But she snickers. You know.
I think I did one time, but I don't know. I just sit here and shake my. Can you guys see me?
Yes, we can see you shaking your head.
My head like
I almost thought you were going to jump on there. I thought for a second you were going to hit the unmute button.
I was going to. But
I don't understand why you don't want to be my backup dancer, but whatever. Ethan would.
I'll work on that.
Ethan would.
I'll work
because he doesn't have 1,500 things to do too.
He doesn't. Ethan's free. He just texted me. He said he's totally
do it for
free.
a mini donut.
Whatever anybody needs. If anybody needs anything done at their haunt, everybody just text Ethan and ask him all kinds of questions because he has so much time on his hands to answer all the little things.
And if you ever want to get on Ethan's good side, it's not hard. Get him mini donuts. The man loves mini donuts.
Mini donuts. I didn't know that.
Mini donuts. Yes. It's a funny story. I should probably not. Oh, well, heck.
No, do it.
He's listening. So he.
Need the dude, I'm on it. I will get it to you.
So years ago when I was at Transworld, this was probably, I don't know, 6 years ago, maybe 7. It's like Thursday and everybody's getting ready to come in and all that stuff. And it's maybe it was Friday. It was pre-show. It was very empty. The show floor was empty. And, we're walking around, and this is when we were videoing for Transworld and doing all the promos and stuff. And here's Ethan by himself at the mini donut stand. Because at that time they would give you like samples.
Free, yep.
He's standing there and he's munching on mini donuts.
I love it.
And I caught him because his head turned like, oh no, And I went over. I was like, what are you doing, man? What's going on? He's like, I love these things. They're my vice. So every time you see him, it's all mini donuts.
That's great. That's great. So, well, listen, though, do you guys remember the year? Probably not you, Dan, but do you remember the year at Transworld where they were giving away free 5-hour energies?
Yes, I do. Okay. Yes, I went back like 6 times.
Listen, that you know
everybody
what?
Did.
No, we all then they were like, yeah, you could take up to like 5, and we were like, 5?
Yeah.
5?
Yes.
We were like I think I saw the bag with them at the bottom of it.
Yes.
We were just taking handfuls of it.
Yes, we were too. We sent our whole crew up there to grab them.
Well, Micah was not with us, but we were like, we knew Micah then, and Micah's like, hey, go over there and get as many as they'll let you get. I was like,
they didn't care. The day one, they didn't care at all.
They didn't.
It was just
yeah. That's incredible. Anyway,
it was awesome. That was a good time. Free stuff at Transworld or any show is a good time.
Now you have to pay for everything.
Those people don't even know what hit them. It's like bath fitter showing up.
You know that I think it was MHC. I think maybe 18 or 19. Somebody actually bought a bath while they were at MHC.
Are you kidding?
Yep. So now nobody can say it's stupid that they're there because somebody bought one.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I guess if
you're
walking around,
there's a deal.
Own houses. A lot of owners own houses.
I
and
would
you walk
totally
around,
do
you're
it.
like, hey, honey, well, I know we just bought that, $800 mask from Immortal Mask, but we do need a new bath.
Think about it though; it's a perfect setup because us haunters have no time to do anything. So it's
that's true.
Do it all. They should have
I feel like it's a waste of money. But
for them,
a bath over a bath over a bath over a bath.
Yeah.
No, I think for them to be at the show. Is that what you mean, Dan?
Yes.
For them to pay to be at the show. Yeah. Well,
from what I've heard, because they were at West Coast before, they were turned down for Texas. So was another
I would have just had them. Right. Take the money. Just have them.
There was another local business that that wanted to be in there, and what it is that those convention centers pretty much have a deal with them that they get told when these events are coming up, and they just get in there every single event. So it could be a knitting fair the last weekend, a rodeo one weekend, and then the Haunters convention, and they're there all 3. You know,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter what the convention is for. They're there to sell every single time.
I just think it's hilarious because
It is.
I would love to interview them. Like Kyle and Liz wouldn't do it. They didn't want me to do it.
Oh, come on.
Like, dude, we have to interview Bath Fitter. You know how hilarious that would be? Nope.
Yeah, because you gotta get the, there was somebody at Transworld this year that was not a haunt business for sure. And they had a pretty big booth, and the lady would not stop talking to people about all this cool Halloween stuff. Like, she was not told what type of convention she was going to, and so she just goes in. She's like, "There's a lot of scary stuff in here," and she was like talking to me and Nate, and she's just like, "Why are you guys here?" And we're like, "Well, we do this at our house." What? Like, we had to explain the entire community and industry to her, and she was just like, "This is the coolest thing ever. I'm putting in for this for next year."
Oh, wow.
It's so funny.
Like, I'm sure it's one of the more exciting conventions you go to.
Yeah. Well, when you're just a salesperson, yeah, heck yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd sign up for that.
But I think it's funny that they did not tell them what type of show they were going to.
That's hilarious.
Just show up. You'll see.
It's always funny though to see the people's reactions when they don't realize how big of an industry this is.
Yeah.
Like, what, $500 billion industry? Something like not 500, maybe 5 billion, something like haunted houses. Haunted houses, like, I just looked it up. It's probably 5. Look it up, Troy. Oh, sorry, you're on vacation. Never mind. Anyway, I think people just don't realize because I know for me, when I was like, yeah, we're buying this old school and we're going to have like a haunted house. People are like, "Aw, that's so cute," and you're like, "No, you don't realize what it all entails, you know." Right. So I bet this woman was probably just like, "What the hell?"
Most people are crazy wild about like that stuff. It's like they don't understand. It's only you set up the week before, and then and then it's down by November 1st, right? I mean,
we're putting ours up. Oh, let's see. We open on the 23rd. I think probably the 20th. We'll put our stuff up.
Well, for Susie, she just pulls the little plug on the back, and then the air just comes out.
Oh, I was just gonna say I was at Sam's Club yesterday. I knew you were going there.
Crawford is an inflatable.
They had this adorable inflatable, like,
she's just out there on October 10th.
You can walk through, not you. I can walk through because I'm little kids.
She takes she takes turns with Troy and Micah, and they just go over there.
We do. We have.
Ethan says it's the most difficult thing to explain to folks every single time. What do you do for a living? I say haunts immediately. Well, what do you do for the rest of the year? It's totally true. It's so true.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing. I don't do anything. Yep. You should try and build a haunted house. Good luck.
Well.
Good luck.
So anyway, so anything exciting going on? I know, Susie, you're like tearing your hair out.
Listen, I am so glad you guys asked me to be on this show because I was bored to death today. I had absolutely nothing on the agenda.
I feel like you're telling stories right now.
That's good. I'm glad that we could help you with that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, I just bit off.
You got a lot going on. It's haunt season.
I know, but it's super haunt season this year because I'm doing a lot of things that I don't normally do. We had auditions. We never do auditions.
Oh, how did that go?
Auditions. Well, it was amazing.
Tell us about that. Yeah.
It was amazing. We had 41 people audition on Saturday.
Wow.
And
did you market for that or no? Was it just
a little bit? I never do paid Facebook ads. So no, I mean, it was posts.
Wow. 41 people.
Yeah. And we started at 9 a.m. and they had to sign up for their time every 15 minutes. We had some breaks to eat and stuff. Yeah. There were 4 of us, and it went from like really, really entertaining to I can't believe the people that have worked for us for this many years are coming in and not knowing what to do. And we told them, if you don't have lines, we're going to feed you lines. Here's where you are. You're in, the library and the haunt, and you're the librarian, and people are coming through, and we gave them a scenario, we gave them lines, and they were like, I feel like you're putting me on the spot. We are. Yes. We are. Like,
I'm trying to find out how you survive in a situation.
It's amazing. It's
And
amazing.
it's not what, and the best part about that is it's not what you tell them to do. It's how they react to what you tell them to do. And that's how you know where to put those people.
Yep.
It's not what you say and how you repeat it. I mean, if I told them to do, act like a librarian that's scared of, the death at the door, what are you going to do? Are you going to say, oh, I'm scared of death at the door, like you told? Or are you going to act it out and make up stuff and ad lib? Because that's what you were looking for. It's
absolutely. This girl comes in first year. She's never worked for me before.
Mm-hmm.
She prepared a 5-minute monologue. I am not kidding you. She did everything that we asked everybody else to do without us having to ask her. She rolled on the floor. She jumped over things. She went around us like we were. I felt like we were on, what is it?
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, and like we were like literally like she's circling us. Didn't touch any of us, but was like circling us. She had this like, she sang. She chanted.
And has she worked at a haunt before?
No.
Oh my gosh!
I will
Sign
say
her
this.
up.
We were like,
close the door, lock it, don't let her get away.
This is the best audition we've seen all day, and she was thrilled.
Was it the last one? Because what happened with the last girl?
She was amazing. They're actually,
I told you.
That last girl and this one I'm talking about are going to share a role because the first girl that had the monologue can't do Fridays. Can't do Fridays. So the last girl is going to do in that role on Friday and then a different role Saturday. That's what I'm doing this year. I'm double casting, so to speak, because I can't tell you how many times I've gotten kind of stuck where somebody just unexpectedly can't come and it's a certain costume and a certain role and there's only one person that does it. And, people say they can make it every night, but it usually happens where they can't. Something happens. So we're double casting a lot. I just posted my cast list on my page and I'm like waiting for like the private messages to roll in. Yeah. Everybody that's messaged me is happy.
Well, that's
good. There's a couple
uncanny.
Questions.
That's unusual.
Yeah, you will. I just posted it, so I don't think they've all seen it yet. Because you got to remember, Facebook's for old people. Yeah. Yeah. There I am. We got that last year.
Mysterious cast.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep, we got that last year. That's pretty good.
Scariest cast.
So other than
scariest haunt in the Tri-City area, right.
Yeah, in Connellsville. Scary in Connellsville. You forgot that.
The scariest haunted house on this street. Got it.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. It's that address.
Scariest haunted house until I go to the next one.
Yes. Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
So what else is going on? You got the casting set?
Got the casting. We're doing like a midway. We talked about this before. We're doing like a midway this year. So we have a bunch of different like games that I need people to run. So I had that meeting on Sunday and we had like so many people show up for that, way more than I need. So, which is fine. I'm not going to, it's better to have too many, but I'm not going to put everybody on. I'm going to make a schedule because I had everybody just bring me their calendars when they're available. And, I'm just going to make like a schedule and put it out. But yeah, we have Jelly Ball, axe throwing trailer, 2-minute escape room, merch trailer, ticket booth, which I already have that covered. Like runners, ticket scanners. We use for our ticket booth, we use the old gas building, like the little brick gas building that's next to the haunt.
The pump house?
Yeah, so it's only like a little, there's only one window, and ideally we'd have two. So one line for cash and one for online, and we don't. We have one window, so it kind of makes it, the people that buy their tickets online are always like, oh, I bought my ticket online. Well, it doesn't matter. You still have to have your phone scanned and you still have to receive an actual ticket and you have to be entered into the system since we do like the call to queue, like the text.
Yeah.
So we like to have somebody standing out there, like kind of calling everybody into a separate line if they purchase their tickets online.
Yeah,
and then they can get their phone scanned. Makes it go faster. It's just people like that, runners, somebody for the door, because I'm not sure if my girl's coming back, stuff like that. So
it's all the stuff that nobody thinks about. It's the
actor. Actually, Sean, funny thing. So go back to my calendar that you posted.
If you don't mind, Troy.
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to pull you from your vacation.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
The eyeballs, that's actually me from last year. The girl that does my calendar, like, always just pulls pictures that I've posted. So those are all pictures of mine. But
That's
the
fun.
eyeballs that you see, that's me as the nurse, the school nurse. My face was wrapped in bandages all night, and it sucked really bad because those little pieces of fuzz got into my contacts all night. Anyway, every year I pick something different to do so that I can say I've done it. That's during the haunt season, obviously. During build season, I've done everything. So I last year decided to be an actor, and I had my own scene, and I did not. I went to the bathroom once. I think I missed one group the entire season. I wanted to see what it was like to be an actor and actually be in your scene and have to do the hard work, because it's so easy to be like, do this and, don't do that as a haunt owner. And I just wanted to show everybody that I am like you. And I'm going to tell you, it freaking sucked really, really bad. And so that'll never happen again. I probably will never do that ever again. It was the hardest job that I've had in the haunt. I've worked the door. I've done the ticket booth. This year, I'm running my coffee trailer and concessions. And I don't know what else I don't think there's anything I haven't done up to now. I've pee braked. I've line acted. I think I've done it all. I may this year throw a costume on, run inside if I have somebody in the coffee trailer, because I love that stuff, just running in. But but yeah, that's about it. Line acting's fun too. I love line acting.
I've done that.
One of my faves.
Yeah, I'd have to say, out of all the things, my favorite is line acting or going through as a roaming character, just chasing certain groups through the haunt.
Micah and I do that every once in a while. He'll just like nod to me, and I'm like, "Let's go." We go in right after a group.
Yep.
We stay a little bit behind them and just kind of take over.
Yep.
And love it. Love it.
So much fun. So much fun. Troy, anything else going on?
No, I think the only thing I was trying to figure out while you guys were, talking about whatever you were talking about that I wasn't listening to at all. I was trying to figure out how to do a poll on our page. And for some reason it's not letting me. Because I need to know if people want us to do, because if we do a show after Labor Day, sometime in September, just the three of us. If people want to see like a clip show like we did last year, where I take clips from all the different shows from this season, different stuff where we make fun of Susie pretty much the entire show, or I grab all those things out, everything out of context that she says, or should we do like an update show of a bunch of our past guests? So I'll find little snippet videos of guests and what they have, where they're at now. Kind of just an update on what they said they were going to do and all that, so
would that one be after the haunt season then?
No, it would be basically like right now, the guy, the couple who did the dark ride around their pool, the haunted mansion cart ride. He now has the character is on the chair now. So the guy's talking to you while you're going through on the cart.
That's so cool.
So
cool.
So
freaking cool.
More of a progression from where they were in the episode to now. So we could do that, or we could do a clip show.
That's an awful lot of work for you, Troy. I mean, that's what that's what I want to see is updates. I mean,
okay. Then let's do updates. I can probably do a clip show anyways, and just do it after Halloween, and just put it up on our page as a video.
So are we gonna be on while the updates are happening so we can talk about it?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
It'll just be that I'll go through and grab a bunch of different people throughout the different ones. Different guests, and I will bring up their pages, and we'll talk about a video or a picture they put up of some progress that they've gotten. We're not going to have the people on. It'll just be us talking about, what they've done, and I can give an update on, where they're at right now. Some of them may have, their haunts pretty much up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet.
Okay. Fine. Then I won't put a poll up, and we'll just do that.
Just do that.
Okay. Update show.
Anyway, so what are we doing tonight? We
are going to update everybody on Fundraiser Freight and Denise Montgomery and her entire family.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, hello.
See, I told you it was a terrible segue.
They always are. I think we do it intentionally.
Probably.
I'm just going to say that because I don't know if it's...
Because we never script anything.
I blame it on Troy's sleeves.
Yep. They're missing. They're missing. Yeah. Dan didn't have sleeves before he came on the show, so now
somebody stole mine.
Yeah, right. So tonight our guest is Denise Montgomery and her entire family, and they produce the Fundraiser Freight. Not confused with fright. It is scary, but it's freight, and we're going to ask them why in a little bit. So I guess we will start with you, Denise, on and you guys can do this as a roundtable thing, with the five of you. What was like the first thing of Halloween that got you into Halloween, with whether it be a kid or got you into actually doing all this haunting stuff in your house, and then where you are now?
We have 4 kids of our own, and our oldest son, Christopher, and his 2 best friends started getting bullied in grade 6 quite bad. And then when our daughter, Jadana, started school, we were trying to find something we could do to get them to be a little more confident. And we threw costumes on them, and they wanted to do it. So we let them be shadows somewhere in the background. And we just seen how they came out of their own skin and became very excited and weren't hiding at school anymore. And now they were telling everybody about what they were doing. And it just seemed to bring these 3 shy kids out into being very popular kids all of a sudden. And all they did was dress as shadows at Halloween.
Yeah. Some of the most incredible actors and haunters we have are introverts, and all of us are the weird kids.
Yeah.
And yet now we're the ones laughing.
And that's exactly it.
Entertaining. Scaring.
Yeah, laughing and
that.
scaring, and making them cry.
Being on the other side of that.
Right, yes. right. But in a good way. See, we're not bullying. We're not being mean. We're just giving them a little jolt of adrenaline. So no, that is great, and I know that one of the things is that's actually part of your part of your logo. Well, I mean, that is your logo. Is that anyone can conquer anything with a friend. So I guess we will start with, how did you come up with the name of Fundraiser Freight?
When Chris and I started the team, we started way back in 2010 with the 4 little kids. And by 2012, we started getting quite big. And that's when we decided that we were going to try to come up with a team name. So we sat most of our team down, a lot of our original crew, which I'll explain after, sat down, tried to decide how they were going to go about this. They wanted the shield to show that we were protectors. Because we were all about bullying, the shield was to show them that we were protecting somebody. And if you look at the people on it, we're helping everybody, whether you're 4 feet tall, a senior citizen, or just somebody that needs a friend. It was just to tell them that,
No, I knew Troy was going to say something about 4 feet tall. Go on.
No, this is a no bullying Susie night.
Oh, okay.
So we decided to put the shield, and then my mother ended up getting cancer, and we started hanging out at the Lacrosse Cancer quite a bit. And a lot of our team became very close with my mom because she was with us when we started the haunt. She's the one that kind of pushed us down. Look at these kids. Look at how much they're growing. Let's continue with this. And then she got diagnosed with lung cancer. So if I couldn't make it, it was one of the team or one of the family members would end up taking her to her appointments. And every time we walked in there, they were like, look at these people who have the worst thing possible, have a kid on their arm, and all of a sudden there's nothing matters. Their whole day is so much better just by having that kid or that extra person to help them and not judge them for anything. So with that, they decided that they wanted freight instead of fright to show that we're bringing something to you rather than we're just going to scare you.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
that's a really cool spin.
Yeah, love that.
That was a proud moment for Chris and I, because like I said, most of our stuff is done by the kids. So to have them come up with something that's that meaningful really meant a lot to Chris and I to be able to follow it with them.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. So I will start with, because I know your videos start at 2015. So we'll start with that. But just kind of walk us through how how you do your haunt. How the kids come up with who comes up with the ideas, just kind of your process of creating every year.
This is the fun part. And I'm going to hand this over to Brooke in a bit here, because Brooke was one of our youngest actors here. And like I said, everything is by the kids. Most haunts, you're picking out characters, you're getting them trying out the characters, different things like that. We had 2 boys that were 4 and 5 years old, Bladen and Gavin, that decided they were going to play twin Chuckies. They were small. They were the size of the real doll.
I love it.
So they ran around the haunt, and that's all they literally did at 4 and 5 was running around the haunt, bugging the king. Well, because we knew the kids, my husband playing the king would pick these kids up and he would run around with the kids. It ended up becoming a very interactive haunt. I'll let Brooke explain what she did as an actor, because she plays our Twitch now, which is one of our #1 actors on our team. And she's the youngest float we have. Float meaning they can run all over the haunt. Go ahead, Brooke.
Well, I started my haunt when I was 5 years old. And I chilled in the back room. And I was told when to pull a lever. My job is to pull a lever and pop out. But while doing that, I had so much fun and came back every year. And now I'm #1 actor. It's crazy how you can go from pulling a lever and popping out to doing this now and making people just get scared. Like, it's great.
Do you remember your first, like your first person you got?
Annabelle. I was Annabelle, and it was fun because I'd go play with the 2 Chuckies.
Running around being crazy. That's awesome.
We allow the kids to kind of bring out their own characters, and to me, the characters become way better than us telling them how to do it. Mm-hmm. So when we started, and it doesn't matter how old, this year, all of our newbies that came on, we call them newbies because they're new to the team and they haven't done a season with us. They have to come with us with a backstory. They do not know what their character is going to be. All I need to know is I need a page backstory. Give us what kind of character you want to become. That now will go over to one of the team captains and they'll sit down and develop a character for that backstory. And then we give them their room, and now they have to develop their room based on that backstory. So they have to really fall into their character well before Halloween. We start these kids usually in February to come up with your backstory, give us ideas, and see if we can develop more.
So the kids actually design the rooms. It's like a whole thing where they are in charge of their room. Do they actually do the physical work to put the room together, or do they just come up with the ideas?
Oh no. When they come on our team, the first year they come on, they learn how to use a Dremel. Nice. We have kids right now that are ranging, Bladen's 14, Gavin's 13, and we've got kids as young as 10 that are using drills now. If you show the responsibility to the equipment and you're respectful to everybody else around it, I don't believe in age. Age is a number and it means nothing. I have 18-year-old kids I'd never put in charge of a team. I've got 10-year-old kids and 13-year-old kids that I'd give a team to in a heartbeat.
I know.
It's all about being responsible.
Give a job to.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of them do the building with us. They do the hard labor. They have to get the blood, sweat, and tears because they don't respect it until they do. It's the easiest way to put it. And the haunt is done by the children. This year, I screwed up, and I'll admit that it was totally my screw up. We were supposed to be a 5,000 square foot haunt. We usually use 3x4 pallets. This year, I used 5-foot pallets, and it ended up being 10,360 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
So they've already put up over 500 pallets, and this weekend, they've got to add another 600 to that to be able to complete the haunt.
So where do you get your pallets?
We get them everywhere. We do have a couple companies. Adis Construction really helps us out with the smaller pallets. And then we reach around to parents and stuff, and they'll phone us and say, can you please come clean them up? And we do. We clean them up. We take them back if they're broken. The kids take them apart, fix them, make them a better pallet so it can be used as a wall. All of our walls in our haunt are what we call climber walls. Because we have kids, we do not want any of these kids to be doing the bullying, the getting into trouble outside of the haunt. So we bring everything a kid wants to do in the haunt, whether it's throwing toilet paper at a roof like everybody does in school once in a while, or climbing the walls, or being able to throw paint at the walls. Like, we bring all that into the haunt. We make the haunt where they can literally take their biggest fun thing that they've always wanted to try, and they're allowed to do it within the haunt walls. When they leave the haunt walls, they stop. Doing this routine, it ended up making our team of a big, big family. Our training with the kids is we play hide and go seek in the dark within the haunt. The pictures you're seeing right now is when all of our neighbors finally said, you know, what Denise and Chris are doing is amazing. And they allowed us to decorate their yards on top of our yards.
Wow. And what year was this? I mean,
that was 2015.
Got it.
Yeah, that was a big one. We pulled in all the other neighbors around. We even had a senior, Blair, and the neighbor, who came out and literally sat in his rocking chair because he wanted to see how it felt like to haunt. And he laughed all night long. That's me. And these are all kids on the team.
How many kids total on average every season?
This year we're at 163.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Not all of them act. We try to get between 30 and 50 of them to act. But acting's tough. Like some of them, they come with us. We had a girl, Eva, on our team, who's still on our team, I may add. When she joined us, we couldn't get her off the sidewalk. She was scared of her own shadow. And throughout the years, then we got her into the ticket booth. And then after the ticket booth, we got her into the kitchen. And then we got her into helping design makeup. And now she's one of our actors in our high scare, and she's a team lead. So it's a matter of letting these kids grow and not holding them back, and, you know, having the team to stand behind them and walk through those fears instead of having to deal with them on their own.
Where do you find all your volunteers? Do they come to you, or do you have to go out and like?
Chris and I are very, very kid orientated, and sometimes a little too much, I will admit. We go to malls, we go to stores. And if we see a parent picking on their kid and we don't think it's right, it's, oh, here's a business card. Come see us. We're going to take the kid on the team, because we usually see, okay, you know what, that kid's being bullied by a sibling, or that kid's just being put in the background. And we need these kids to come out, because our world is going to be nothing if we don't make more leaders. So we want these kids to continue leading and knowing that we can literally step back and they can run a 10,000 square foot haunt without Chris and I. Like, I trust every single one of our team, including our 10 and 11-year-olds, they can do it. They don't need us standing behind them. We work with them from February till October, and it's not a problem. Chris and I play in the haunt side by side with every single one of our kids.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
So tell us about the fundraiser part. Like, is there a fee to go through your haunt?
Yep, $5, and it all goes to Alberta Cross Cancer. Except for this year. This year, again, our team decided, we had a meeting back in May, and we were, okay, do you guys want to do just Alberta Cross, or do you want to try something new? Well, with COVID and seeing all the homeless people and all the different issues, they decided they wanted to start an Adopt a Family program this year. So what they've decided is all the money raised on Family Night, which is our October 21st haunt, will go to our Adopt a Family program. So throughout all the events we've been doing, the carnivals, the different fundraisers, the bottle drives, those kind of things, people had options to get nomination sheets. So what they do is they can nominate a family that needs that pick-me-up, whether they were touched by cancer or just needs a lift up after COVID and had any mental issues, any stress, any, you know, people lost a lot of crap through COVID. So we're hoping to be able to pick up 5 to 6 families that the kids will be going as a team member, dressed as elves, to drop off stockings for everybody in the house, all the fixings for dinner, and hopefully if they can raise enough money, help them out with 1 or 2 of their utility bills. That's where this year's going with Alberta Cross Cancer on the other ones.
Wow, that's awesome.
Makes it fun. These kids, people take kids for granted is the way Chris and I look at it. Kids are actually quite smart, and they are way more creepy than any adult haunt you go through. I will guarantee that.
Yes.
They're demented. Chris, when we first started, and I'm going to let him tell you about his little dolls. We asked the kids to make some dolls for us. I'll let Chris explain what happened to his garage.
It was really not pleasant. we give these kids, you know, different dolls to decorate and just kind of dement.
Yep.
So they can put them in through the haunt. I went into the garage one day to grab something, and I opened my garage door, and I closed my garage door. Because I had babies hanging all over the place, my whole garage. And I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not going in there.
Some of them, they took the fingers off and they put them in the eyeballs, or they'd take a skewer and put it through the head, or they'd have brains gushing out their throat. Like, it was really disturbing ones. But it's funny how a lot of the kids get rid of stresses and nightmares that they have at home, and they put it into the props, and then they don't have those nightmares at home. They don't stress because they're dealing with it. And a lot of people don't deal with it right on.
Very true.
Yeah. I was trying to see if you guys had put pictures up of those dolls, but I don't think
we have doll rooms, and if you see them within our videos, there's doll rooms. All of those dolls are handmade by kids. Okay. And there's always a doll room. They have a doll room in there, and they usually have a toy room. And most of those toys and those dolls in there are Chris and I going to garage sales and finding the broken things and bringing them back, throwing them in a box and say, hey guys, fix these. And they are able to come up with them. And yeah, some of them get pretty intense. Pretty intense. But like I said, them being able to deal with nightmares and stuff by building these props, by going through it. I'm petrified of spiders. I run the haunt. I've been doing it for 10 years, and I am scared, like extremely scared of them. They stand beside me every single spider, and we put that spider wall up together every single year. I can't even look at a book with a spider. You put me with the team, and I'll tell you we can do it without a problem. I cry. They pat me on the back and tell me how I can do it. And let's call a spade a spade. You don't want to admit to a kid you can't. So you keep going and you're doing it.
Very true. So, okay, you've got 10,000 square feet. How many scenes or rooms do you have?
31.
31. I can't imagine coming up with that many.
31.
They're all differently themed, right? I mean, they're all different because these kids are.
The whole idea is they're given, it's a castle. It's a medieval castle being combined with the new millennium. And that's where they wanted to go with it. And we thought, okay, let's go with it. So every year they're allowed to add another room in. Last year, that's the one you're looking at. It. That was the start of our castle days. And they have everything from a voodoo. They have the bathroom. Last year we had the bathroom and we got poop spray and we covered the room. So when you went through, it smelled like somebody was really sick. But the kids, the way they do their rooms is every kid has to take away a sense. So one kid will make their room more on the darker side, so they'll take away your sight. The next room will take away hearing, and it'll be a silent room. The next one, you'll have fuzz and stuff all over the floor and the hands to take away your touch. Like they will add or take a scent away through every single room that you go through. And everything is based in a castle. So they had to research a castle, find out what rooms are in a castle, and they had to build their characters and everything based on a castle. That's the only thing we give them is the main thing.
Wow. That's what I always did with my whenever I did a walkthrough and I had a bunch of people helping me was I would say, okay, this is our theme. You need to build a room. I will build the structure, but you need to fill it. You need to create the character. You need to do everything for that room because, like you said, it gives them ownership of that whole entire process and makes them proud of it, especially at the end. You know,
that boiler that you're looking at right now was built by John Telder, one of our actors in our team. He came on with us back in 2018 and he just decided he wanted to try to do something out of foam, and he ended up building that whole boiler. It's 8 feet wide out of foam. Almost everything in the haunt is handmade some way. That's the boiler. Almost everything is made out of foam or PVC pipe. It's all recycled material. We hand the recycled material to the team, whatever room they're in, and they have to develop something with that recycled material. This year, we're building a mausoleum, and the stuff that they're bringing up with it is absolutely unbelievable. So they bought an organ this year. So I have an organ going in it, and they're going to build all pipes and stuff off of it. You never know what you're going to get, but their ideas are fantastic. And when you don't give them much money, I'll tell you, they go with the rocket.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Usually gets $100.
It's a burning question, and this is 10,000 square feet. There's 31 rooms.
Yeah.
Where's it all go?
Where does it all go? And I mean, obviously the pallets can be returned or, be salvaged or even stored away pretty easily. But all of the stuff for all the rooms, do you keep a lot of it? Do you not? And you rebuild every year? How does that work?
We keep every item that goes in. Everything that's built goes in there. The pallets we send out to a recycling company. That's Devin. He's standing behind me right now. We send all the recycles to a pallet company, and they recycle it and send it to other people. And then we also allow residents and people come through the haunt. If they want pallets, they come in, they give us the name, how many they want. We pick the best ones for them, and we pack it up, and then they come pick them up November 7th. So we kind of spread it around. The rest of it is all stuck in our basement, our garages, we have a couple storage units, a couple sea cans. That's where our fundraising goes, is more storing everything than anything.
Right. I do want to give big props to using stilts as a way to install, pallet walls and stuff. When I saw this, I was like, that's such a good idea.
And you know what? It works pretty good, especially when you're doing the roof. Because I have 3 different sizes stilt or the painter stilts.
Right.
So I can go up to 8 feet with my stilts, and I can walk around like nothing.
Alex, the one that's looking at you with the sunglasses on there, he handmade his own stilts. At this time, he wasn't even 18 years old. Wow. He wanted stilts, couldn't afford stilts, so he made himself a set of stilts.
Sure.
And we work with the kids, and if they want to learn something, we'll go with them. And Chris will sit down with them and teach them how to stilt. That's the stilts Alex made by himself, I may add, with a little bit of help from his dad.
Wow, and they're just the 2x2 bottoms. They're not they don't have the flat, shoe-like bottom. Yeah. That's cool.
And he built all the walls without a problem. He jumped on those stilts and he went hard every day.
That is cool.
I also have a set of jumper stilts as well.
That's a lot of our original crew right from way back in the day.
Yeah, that is really cool. I'm going to get to one of the so you say this is kind of where you're going to do so like the doors, those are going to be part of individual rooms and stuff, or like access to rooms, or are those accessed out of the haunt?
We have what we call an emergency hallway that goes around the whole outside of our haunt. It's 3 feet wide, and it literally goes around the whole thing. It's so that our actors can get out and be able to make it back for breaks without having to run through people's scares. So we all have a way that we can get out, a door that we can get to, and then we follow the hallway so we don't have to worry about the kids because they're still locked within the haunt. But They can literally walk that hallway safely without having to deal with the public, without having to deal with anybody that's scared, and they can walk right back into the hall. So it gives them just that easy way around. Plus, if we ever had an emergency, stretchers can fit in that area.
Oh, nice.
We are not handicap accessible. We cannot do wheelchairs because we do have claustrophobic hallways that start at 3 feet and they shrink right down to 2.
So building this, do you guys follow a plan? Do you have teams that put the walls together? Like 10,000 square feet, you build it in a parking lot, which is what I'm realizing. Like, how do you know? Like, that's a lot.
It's in a skating rink.
So how do you walk me through how you set this up before the season starts?
Okay, we tear down our season by November 7th. Through that tear down from November 1st to November 7th, you get all the, we should have done this or we should have done that. Well, I sit down and I start taking notes because that's when you get your best ideas, is when you're tearing it down. Things that we missed, things that we forgot, things that could have been better. We just start taking notes, my husband and I, and just start writing as much down as we can think of, even if it's something really small. And then once it's down, we come back with a lot of our originals to my house, and we will literally figure out what rooms do we want? How do we want the square footage? Do we want the rooms smaller than last year? Do we want them bigger than last year? And because we were totally pallets, they all know that their rooms are going to be times by 4. So it's either going to be the 4, the 8, or 12 because of the size of pallets we use. Right. It gives them a way of being able to figure out how square, do they want it rectangular? How do they want it? A lot of them will give you a large square and then they'll say, I want 4 hallways through mine. So then we'll take it and we'll blueprint the hallways. We take it back to the team and they'll say, no, don't like this hallway here, or this door is too big, or there's not enough shadow hides. We take it back to the table again, and we relay out all those rooms again to see if it works better. And we just keep doing that until February. Come February, we have our blue chip print ready. We get John to print it for us. It comes up at the hall. We all go through it again through a meeting and look through it all to see if we've missed anything. And then we take it back to the team again.
Wow. So this team that you have, are they you guys, or do you have like a whole separate set of people that do?
We have three different levels in the team. 99% of our kids do not leave after a haunt season. We make a family and it stays together as a family. Once they're on until for good. Most of our actors have been with us over 5 years. Some of them as high as 10 that started when they were 4 or 5 years old, and they're still haunting with us at 15, 16 years. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we have our 3 levels. When you come, you're a newbie. Which is also what we call our proud supporters. It's people that are coming on that they're not quite sure if they're going to stay the haunt, or are they going to go ticket? Are they going to go frontline? Like, they're not sure exactly where. Then once they put in certain amount of hours during build, which means they're putting up pallets, they're dealing with the slivers, they're doing the hard labor, we're cutting grass for the community to make it go. They have to do the hard labor to get their hours. Once they get their hours, then the team, who's what we call our originals or our haunt masters, they're the ones that will nominate people. So once somebody's proved themselves, they've showed that they're following the 5 rules of Fundraiser for 8, which is responsibility, respect, make positive choices, have fun, and stay safe. And have fun is extremely important to us. Yeah. Because if you're not having fun, it's a job. Yeah. We don't want this a job. We want something that you're going to want to do year after year after year and not walk off after the next year because it's boring. So with that, once you're level 4, the team can come back and we have a chat that they'll say, okay, Brooke will come on and say, you know what, I'd like to nominate Claire for this position. I think Claire's good. Then all the originals that have made it to that level will now vote in. And as long as she gets 90%, the next meeting she'll be pulled up as an original or a haunt master in training. Once she's a haunt master in training, now she's going to learn how to still. Now she's going to learn how to run a team. Now she's going to have a lot more responsibilities. And Chris and I now are going to stand back on her. We're no longer teaching her. Now she needs to start learning off of her other people that are the haunt masters or the originals. She'll have to start learning off of them. Once she hits a level 6, now she can get nominated to be original. And as long as she's remained keeping her grades up, she's been a real positive role model in the community. She's made sure that she doesn't have any negative suspensions or groundings at home or undone homework. Then we can pop her up to the original. But we don't take this just out of Halloween. Like, it's an all-day lifestyle. Like, we need to make sure these kids are behaving both with us and without. You're taking the Fundraiser for 8 logo away, and we are role models, and that's what we want our team to be. We are anti-bully, and we're role models. So it's not just at the haunt. The haunt's just where we get to show how close we've really became over those 9-10 months.
Wow.
That is super intense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's such a great process, and it shows in life that's how things work. You know, that's how when you get a job, you have to show that you can do the work, and that then you deserve to get more responsibility and to be a leader and stuff like that. You know, to do that at 8, 9, 10 years old is amazing for those kids.
Well, and they run the budgeting team. They run the fundraising team. Like, we are literally their grunts. That's the easiest way to put it. We did Carnival. Bladen, who's 14, sat down with Jadana. They had to go through and count all the money we made. They had to take all the receipts. They had to end up giving the people back that bought stuff. And then it was like, okay, Denise, this is what goes into the account. So we go and take it to the account. We don't question what they add up. When you mess up, it's the team that messes up. It's not one individual. Right, when we get past or we do anything good, it's the whole team. It's not just the one individual. And we celebrate every single thing, whether it's making $5 or passing a science exam. We celebrate everything, big, small, it don't matter. But we also, when we screw up, we have no problem going to the team and saying, oh, I got a speeding ticket today. And I'll tell you, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to tell you shouldn't have done it. But you're now accountable, and you're a lot more accountable to people your age than you are to even your parents.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, that kind of goes with, you know, with like peer pressure, but a good kind of peer pressure is that, hey,
positive peer pressure.
Do good. So you're going to help the ones that need a little more, and and then the ones that don't need a little more will be the ones helping.
Exactly.
That is really cool.
Peer pressure can be used in a positive way.
Yeah.
Peer pressure can be used in a positive way. And these kids, I really think that we hold kids back a lot because, like, we've got kids on our team. For example, Brooke and Gavin and Bladen, 3 of our youngest kids that started with us, they were drilling and stuff before they were 7. They were putting up like 8-foot walls without an issue. Chris and I would go in after they did it and we would try tearing it down. If it comes down, it's like, hey, something was wrong there. Let's fix it. What happened? We don't fix it for them.
Right.
We will tear it down if it's not braced enough. Today we had a small wall come down. We phoned the kids and said, guys, there's a wall came down. Somebody needs to come down and fix it. I sat there and mopped the hall while they went and fixed the wall. It's not my job to fix it. We do this as a team. And whoever puts it up needs to find out where the mess up was and fix it.
Yep.
The only way they're going to learn.
Watch, these kids are going to go out and make like the biggest and best haunted houses in Canada ever.
Yeah.
Like, in like 10 years, it's going to be like, boom, there's going to be like 8 haunted houses spread out throughout Canada, and it's all going to be these kids.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. Like, this is what, and sad to say, part of my language, but this was nominated as the people that nominate, because as you leave our haunt, you get a vote card and you pick your favorite rooms, your favorite kids. And you don't know who they are. We have their backstories. There is at the front of the haunt with their picture of their character, not their real picture, because a lot of them don't want to be known by their friends.
Right.
And then at the end, you have the picture of the character so that you can go nominate your favorite. The room that you guys seen that was all red, they nominated them as the little a-holes. We did not give them that name. That was their name. They were 13-year-old boys. There's 5 of them. They designed the room by themselves. This one that you're speaking. They designed this whole room by themselves. This year, they've decided to build a house from the roof and have it float from the roof so they can get under it.
Wow.
Tough things, but they'll figure it out. They follow YouTube. They'll go on. They'll research it. They'll bring it back to Chris and I. And I'll guarantee we'll be able to get back to you with this house built from the roof.
So what happens if, or maybe this has never happened, what happens if you've got these kids and they come in and they get your ideas, they're part of your team, and they just don't show up? And you've got a room that's half done and you're a week away from Halloween.
This is why we start in February. We start with the kids and we emphasize dedication. And Chris and I aren't always the nicest people. You screw up, we have no problem saying, you know what, you didn't hurt me. You screwed your team over. And we're blunt. Like, we're not sugarcoating nothing. Like, this is how it is. You want to be here or you don't. We're not going to force you to stay. And all of the kids there respect each other so much that if they're not there, they'll go on our chat and say, hey, sorry guys, I couldn't make it. I wasn't feeling good or whatever. They have that bond well before we start building. And if they don't have the bond, we will let the kids go and say, you know what, this isn't going to work until you're willing to follow the rules. If you can follow the rules, which are not hard rules, we do not believe in the word no. You will never hear no come out of my husband and I's mouth ever. Oh, because life is a choice. This is one of your doll rooms.
Here's the doll rooms.
Okay.
Every single one of the kids, life is about a choice. It is not about me saying yes or no. It is not about a parent saying yes or no. Because the minute you say no to a kid, guess what? They're doing it behind your back.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yep.
And it's all of them. So why say no? Switch it to them. You want to do that? Do it. It might not work. It might work. Let's see. And let them find out and fail. And we pick up the pieces when they happen and fix it and make it work next time. But until these kids learn like that, they don't build the bonds. They won't come back. And then you have kids not showing up. When you have the bond and they have to admit to their team, you don't have that. I've got some kids that since we started building August 1st, and since August 1st, we've now had 2 carnivals that we've ran with games built, and half of our haunt is already built. You don't have the issues with people not showing so much. We find we have more dedication issues with the older crowd than we do the younger crowd.
I would agree with that.
It's your adults and your older teens that you have the issues. The younger kids, they're there every day. If they can be there, they're there.
I think what should happen is I think that, how MTV had that Scared Straight, stuff where they would send them to the prisons. I think they should send them there instead. I think send them up there, and scaring a little kid with a guy from prison, that'll do the job for an hour or two. But
and
you put them in something like that, and you're going to get what you're getting out of it. You know, you're getting more well-rounded kids. Have you guys ever got one of the bullies?
Oh yeah,
join the group.
Oh yeah,
they've seen the light, and
my son. My young son is a bully, and he got suspended for beating somebody up. And he came back to the team, and everybody's like, "What are you going to do with him?" I'm like, "Absolutely nothing." One, and I'm a firm believer, if you have a reason, and it is a good reason, I will not punish my child. A little girl was getting picked on. He smacked the kid around. I'm sorry. In my eyes, he did not do anything wrong. In the team's eyes, you still laid a hand on somebody that didn't rely on your team. So they went back to him being a team leader, and said, "We need your shirt." He lost his original title that day until his teacher would write a letter saying his behavior is approved, and then the team gave him their legal title back. Having the team hold him accountable for that was way more than me grounding him.
Heck yeah.
I ground him, and it's like, whatever, I'm playing on my cell phone, I'm going to lay in bed and sleep.
Right.
The kid, his team telling him, "Well, you're not much of a leader, give me your shirt back." I'll tell you, that stuck. He's never caused issues since, and he's never been a bully. He's the one now helping other kids out. But he's accountable. And I will. I'm tattle. Like, I don't run and tell the parents if they do something wrong. I tell their team.
Right.
That's going to make more of a difference than a parent.
Here's everything to you.
It is, and they want to be the best.
Yeah. Speaking of the boys back there, they're awfully quiet. What's your guys' favorite part about haunting?
You got this.
I think it's the fun we have mostly. It's always like between build, haunt nights, and then tear down. It's just always fun. I guess.
Playing tag.
Yeah, like
And playing tag.
It's not just always build, haunt, work on the haunt. It's okay. Today we're not building. We're gonna go play tag or home free throughout the haunt. Just having more fun than anything.
Team bonding.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's good.
We do Christmas dinners with our team. We do Thanksgiving with the team. There's kids on our team that don't have the family background, so we do all that. So when they say they're doing fun, we have days where it's like, "Hey, everybody has to be at the haunt at 4:00. We shut the lights out and we play tag instead of build." Or this week we had a water fight. They do carnival games, and then after the carnival's done, we tear it down and we literally just go and shoot water guns or goof around and run around. Like, it's not all about work. It's about bonding.
Right.
That's the whole thing. The work is just a bonus. The games are just a bonus. It's the bonding that we need to see.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will say it's the family uniting more than anything. Devin's been with our team since he was very little. Devin and Brooke are both siblings. And then Bladen, the youngest one, this is our bully. I'll tell you, he's not a bully no more.
Right.
He's one of the leaders now.
So so I see the snow, from all your foam work. Is this the proper way to get rid of the snow?
That is the best way. That's Bladen, by the way, when he was younger. Yep, that's how we do it. We literally will use the blowers to get it off us, and we keep going. Nothing stops us. Nothing. We've had times where a roof, and we only use plastic roof. We do not use any solid roof. It's all plastic. So if it snows, it comes in. Then that day, we run out before the haunt goes. We get it off. We blow it out. We put that roof back up. We go again.
Last year we had
because you guys are in Canada, and it does snow there in October.
Last year we had that huge puzz. Shot back out.
Yeah, we had a big puddle in it last year. We had to shot back our roof off. So we get the littlest kids climb on the roof, and they hook the shot back up, and they suck it out. We do it all together.
I feel like I'm missing something that I should have known a long time ago here. So you're heating up the rebar, and then you're sliding it over the foam.
He is building. Kayleeann's what we class as our empowerment character. So she needed a throne that was way bigger than any throne we can get because of the fact she's the empowerment character. She is one of our main characters in the haunt. Okay. So this one, they wanted to put it through, but the foam kept breaking. So Chris heats it up with a rebar, and then the kids can slide the foam down perfectly, and it stays. Once it melts, it don't move again.
See,
So smart.
I can't believe that I've wanted a reason to buy one of those torches. There's another thing I want to build with it that I just haven't done yet. And now I'm like, well, crap. Now I have to own like a big one because I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do that. They probably do, and they just don't show it and they don't tell me, which is rude.
We do the same with our tombstones.
Really?
Our
See,
tombstones are the same.
I cut the trough in the back of the tombstone. I lay the PVC pipe in there with the great stuff, and then I slide them over with the rebar. But
no. Heat up your rebar, stick it in. It sticks like glue, and then you pop it in the ground.
Yep. That's just a spike.
Well, how do you get the tombstone in the ground if it's not like I have to pound the rebar into the ground first?
Chris pre-makes his holes. Pre-makes his holes and then sticks the rebar in it. It takes him 5 minutes. Work smarter, not harder. Come on.
Every single one of these episodes, I get that much closer to quitting.
Like I said, you need kids on the team. We learn a lot every day.
My daughter is coming out with me now. We did corpsing of skeletons a couple weekends ago, and she helped me. She learned how to monster mud this past weekend. So my son's off playing video games, and he likes it when I'm done. But he's like, I don't want to come out there and help right now. So I'll get him eventually. But my daughter. So
when she comes to you and says, "Hey, Dad, why aren't we doing it this way?" Maybe you should listen a little.
You know what? I absolutely will. Tombstones is the next thing. She wants to learn how to make tombstones, so that'll be next weekend. But that's one of the things I love about having kids around is that they do have ideas that I didn't think of.
It's a different perspective.
Also, Chris being an adult has now shown me something I didn't know about either. So
but he didn't learn that on his own. He learned it from the kids, honey.
Dang it!
He did not learn it on his own.
I tried.
The kids were like, "Why aren't you heating it up? It's metal."
I never would have thought to put the rebar in there and then gosh.
If you look at a lot of our older tombstones, they have PVC pipe in them, just like you did.
Yeah.
It was when the kids finally said, "Why are you wasting the PVC pipe?" that we kind of sat back, and Chris is like, "Oh boy, here we go again."
That is crazy.
Kids are smart. And this is what I mean. We don't give enough credit to them. They have ideas. They just are scared to let them out.
No, I agree.
We give them the area and they let them out and we go with them.
I think this was the only, so you guys did the carnival. And so the carnival was just all the little kid games and stuff like that. And it was on the site and it was a fundraiser for the haunt, or was it?
It's a fundraiser for the haunt, but they're not little kid games. We do not believe in aging anything. Like the biggest thing with Fundraiser Freight is we do not believe in prerequisites.
Okay.
We do not believe in somebody needs to be male to be on a team or you have to be 6 to play this game. Like we do not believe in anything like that. So every single game we play, a little person can play, but a father can struggle with it the exact same. We have ways to turn every game away so everybody can play.
I never went into fishing games, so I hear you on that. I can never get the fish. So
no, we had a lot of games, and we did 31 games. We take them recycled material, we give them a title, and you have to build it. We did realize yesterday we had one game that wasn't so good. It was called our toilet toss, which was a box with a toilet seat. We threw toilet paper into the seat. Parents were like, "That's not a good thing to teach my kids."
Well, but it's at your house, so it's not at my house, so,
Yeah, that was the first negative we've had in a long time, but understandable.
Right. So, okay, so then this year's going to be the expanding on the castle theme. Anything like really super cool that they're planning that's going to be like brand new and high tech or anything like that?
Our chapel.
Okay.
The guy who built the boiler, John, he's building us a cross that's going to spin. So we have a cross that's going to spin, and then his son, Andrew, is taking a regular organ that we got, and he's building pipes and everything through it. And it will have fog and everything coming out of the organ, just like everything else, and it will be beside the spinning cross.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. No, they build. We have some interesting, and then, like I said, our 14-year-old boys, the little a-holes, they're going to be doing a house. Like they're building a cabin from the roof, and they're going to suspend this cabin from the roof of the haunt.
Wow.
Their room right now is 20 by 20, and they're building a full-size cabin in the middle.
Yeah, you definitely need to take some video and pictures of that. We definitely want to see that.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that is cool.
Just come down.
Yeah, Chris said, or you guys can just come down. You're more than welcome.
You know, there's you know, Alberta is definitely calling me for sure.
Well, if you ever come down, phone us and we'll take you through. But when we start August 1st, like our build is August 1st, it starts. We want our walls up before September 1st.
That is so cool.
It'll be ready to go. Yeah, and we're pretty much the only haunt that has empowerment characters.
Right. I like that a lot.
It's quite neat because Kaylee Ann plays Aura. We call her Princess Aura. And the first day of haunting, half of our face is black, the other half is multicolored. Every day of haunting, that black gets smaller, showing that good overcomes evil. And she's the one that if a kid's scared, she will go get the kid and chase our actors away to show the kid that they can make it through. At the same time, we're making the parents pee their pants.
Right.
Like, that's the whole thing. We have some that we're not there to be nice, and then we have a group of kids, there's 3 of them, that do the empowerment. So once we call an empowerment, they go out and they literally chase the rest of us away. And we gear in at locking the parents up and getting the kid out happy.
Right.
Works great.
Sometimes.
But again, it's teaching the kids how to deal with a bully.
Right.
Because as a haunter, you're a bully. Let's call a spade a spade. That is what we play. We're a bully for a night. We get to be a bully and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So at the end, we need some kids to understand, okay, if that's going to happen in school, how can we turn this around? And that's when our empowerment comes in. This year, we've got Angela and we've got Caroline that have joined us. And they're both, how old are they, 11? I think they're 10 or 11 or 12, and they're coming in as empowerment characters. Angela's 13. Yeah, and they're coming in as empowerment characters, and they want to learn how to deal with this. How can we get kids out of bad situations when they're in it safely? And it's not about putting your fist up and running. How can you do it safely? The empowerment characters, that's what Kaylee teaches them, is how to get over that kind of stuff and make a situation go from dangerous to safe and you getting out of it.
That is cool.
Yeah, everyone in our team there's a different rule. There's a different thing we have to do.
Right. Yeah.
Got some questions here, Troy?
Let's see. I know I've got this one from Ethan about the pallets. Do you guys use pallet breakers to allow for extra materials to be pulled from the pallets?
Nope. We use hammers and crowbars.
There you go.
And
You
a lot of sore-backs.
if you give it the easy way. Come on.
True.
We don't need the easy way.
We all started with a hammer or a large stick.
We go back to the original.
I used to use a Sawzall with the metal cutting blade, and I would just cut all the pieces off.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
Did you hear the kids? That's cheating.
Ah.
Crowbar and a hammer. And I'll tell you, we had a shipment of 2x4s, and they literally were all nailed together. They were making different kinds of posts, and we sat out there for a week hammering every single one, all 100 and some 2x4s apart with nothing but a crowbar and a hammer, and 50 of us kids going at it.
I'm telling you right now, I probably would have cried. I probably would have just sat in the corner after a while and just cried.
Some of us adults did.
Right?
I will tell you, some of us adults did.
Yeah.
The kids, on the other hand, they'll take the breaks when they need to take the breaks, and we only allow 10-minute breaks every hour. Other than that, take your time. You don't have to rush. There's a reason we start so early. Take your time. Get your friend to help you. You don't need to do it on your own. Yes, you can carry a pallet on your own, but if the 2 do it, now you can carry it for an hour rather than 5 minutes.
Right.
Work smart, not hard.
Right. And Ethan says, when it becomes a job, it can become a job, and that's, even for myself, if I've said, that if haunting ever becomes a job, other than like I run haunted house tours, that is a business, that is a job, but I enjoy it. If it becomes something that I don't enjoy, then I'm not going to do it anymore. If it takes time away from my family, that is not prearranged and stuff like that. Once it becomes not fun, like the boys were saying, it's fun. And if it's not fun, then, you know, you need to figure out how to make it fun or move on. You know, because you don't want it to ever feel like a job. But he says that it's awesome that you are turning haunting into a teaching moment. I think you know, he kind of hits that on the nail there too, that there aren't, you know, haunts do take pride in bringing in a lot of at-risk youth, you know, the kids that are introverts and things like that, and they bring it out. You know, especially, you know, the quiet ones are usually the best ones.
Oh yeah.
You know, but you guys have taken that to a whole nother level of, you know, creating an entire structure around that, not just, hey, yeah, come act with us, you know, and, you know, you'll get something out of it eventually on your own. You're putting them on that path, and you're giving them a lot of structure with it that they've built themselves, basically.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. The more they build, the more happy they are, the more responsible they become.
Yeah.
So
it kind of all works hand in hand.
So how do people find you? Like, how do actors
usually
find
Facebook
you?
or Instagram?
How do customers find you guys? What's
Facebook or Instagram? You can get us either on those. And we do put signs and stuff around Edmonton, and then of course word of mouth, and we get people come in from all over for that.
And so where are you going to be this year? Because I know that on your map here you have it down as probably the old location at the house, because you guys have moved from.
We're at Delwood Community Rink. We've been at Delwood Community Rink since 2019. But honestly, it's 2 minutes away from my house. So if they go to my house, there's a sign on the front lawn and my big bruiser. We have a great big 12-foot skeleton that isn't in the haunt. He's part of my house.
Right.
And he will stay part of my house because he holds our sign to tell you go to the hall.
Okay. Nice. All right. So you've got the Fundraiser Facebook page. You've got the Instagram page. And they also have a YouTube. So if you want to watch these videos a little bit longer, a little more intense, they've got some videos of when they submitted to the different award show to the CHA awards. You know, their videos for each last couple of years that they've filmed. So you can look a little more at those, you know, on a bigger screen, you know, at your leisure. So YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and then obviously.
And the videos were all made by the kids as well. Like they all sit down and make the videos. The same with everything else.
They did a very good job on that. Very good job.
Yes.
All right, and so if you're in the Edmonton area, make sure you stop by because they are. I think I had the picture. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. They are open, and this is for this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 22nd through the 31st, basically. Each, you know, the 2 weekends there. Bring your $5 or more. That's fine if you want to bring more.
Anything over $25 gets a tax receipt from Alberta Cross Cancer.
Boom. See? Tax deduction.
And the family night is the one on the bottom. That's the 21st. That's only $2 to get in.
Awesome.
There you go.
Awesome. See, there you
we
go.
We prefer you to bring the coupon so we know how many of our cards have got around.
There you go. Very good.
But all the family night goes to the Adopt a Family program. We're hoping to adopt 5 families this year. So we're hoping to raise about $2,500 that day.
That's a great cause.
How much did you raise last year?
$10,000 for just over $10,000 for Alberta Cross Cancer.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That is very,
yeah,
very
we have one of our haunters. We call her Mrs. Chicken. Her name's Colleen. Told us once we hit 20,000 that she'd go through the haunt. Guess who gets to go through the haunt this year? And pee her pants, I will guarantee. We've already got our Depends ready to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The kids are excited because she's been with us since Brooke was little.
She's my mom.
And she would not walk through it at all because she knows the kids. And she said, not until you guys hit 20 grand. Last year, I phoned her in tears and said, guess what, sweetheart? They succeeded and you're going through the haunt. So now it's 10,000. She's got an extra long walk.
Nice. All right. So I guess we are wrapping up now.
We are wrapping up.
We are wrapping up, and I think in the distance, Dan, I hear some cannon fire. Do you hear that? Do you hear it?
I think I hear it.
I think
I hear it.
Maybe a little bit of cracking noise in
the
ocean.
So what are you implying?
Do you
What
hear
are you
the
implying,
ocean?
Troy? Something next
Yeah,
week?
what are you implying?
What? Oh, about our guest.
Our
Our guest next week.
guest next week?
That was corny as shit.
Oh, that was so bad joke. That was so bad.
Our guest next week is Tony DiMatteo. He and his crew are the winners of the best display and best overall for the 2021 Home Hunter Awards. You know, the thing that I put on.
They're the ones that did that huge pirate ship in the front yard.
Yes, they did do the big giant two pirate ships, pretty much full-size pirate ships in their front yard. So we will talk to them at length about all the crazy piratey stuff that they did and how crazy they went through with all that, the fire cannons and everything. So
yes,
so they are up next week, and that will be our final real show with guests. So that'll be our last show of the season and then we'll have an update show in September.
Awesome. Can't wait. Super excited. Well, thank you guys for coming on tonight.
Thank you very much, all of you.
It's always fun to talk to hunters, especially with good fundraising skills and a whole lot of kids. So thanks for coming on tonight. You guys have a great night. Everybody else watching, thank you for watching. Haunted Hours season finale is next week.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you
Good
guys.
night, everybody.
Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.